I thought 20 seconds was going to be enough time for me to get everything together. I'm just going to do a quick check that I'm actually live, like I'm supposed to be. If somebody could let me know. It says 4 people are watching, so I'm going to guess I am. Thank you. So I can see there are 4 people watching. I cannot see who they are. So if you don't mind just dropping in a comment just to say hi, then I will say to you hi back. So I see there are Facebook users. Unfortunately, I don't see your name, but I can see you're there. So thank you for that. That's a clue. When I'm pointing this way, everything's mirrored. That is a clue as to what we're doing today. What was that tune, by the way? That racket that you could hear. Hey from Chicago, hey back. I'm going to figure out why I can't see your names. But hi, Facebook user. I'm going to see in the stream that you're probably using your actual name, but currently I don't see what it is, so I'll get that fixed. This is why we test. This is why we practice. So what are we doing here? I'm going to just... I know who that is by the last word. Thanks, Elise. It says Facebook user, but I know who that is. And hi, Dan, also. Actually, I'll start with a little bit of an apology, not just for my voice. Thank you, COVID. Actually, I'll start with a little potted history. So, Bruce.com has been going since 1998. It's older than Google, it's older than Facebook, it's older than Twitter. It's one of the oldest fan sites, although I hate that phrase, going around that's lasted this long. And we're nearly up to 25 years, and I'm proud of that. It's one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. It's got me all over the States, all 4 corners. It's got me different places in Europe, Copenhagen, Glasgow, London, Edinburgh, and it's led me to meet the most fantastic people and lifelong friends, not to mention family, and it's one of the best things I've ever done. Finally, I get somebody's name, Bruce, not the one you're thinking of, but Bruce from NYC. Hi, thanks for saying hi, Bruce. So the site's been going since '98. The last 2 or 3 years, I hope I've kept it up to date, but it's although it's been alive and kicking, it's been barely so. Life kind of got in the way with job and various distractions, good ones, mind you, but it hasn't given me the time that I wanted to look after the site and do everything I wanted to for what's essentially a hobby. I've managed to claw some of that time back just lately, so I wanted to put some more time while I have it into the site and give you all something. So I've managed to do that. Come up with some plans in the last few weeks or so, which I'm going to put into place in the next few months or so. Oh, look at this, by the way. I didn't even show you my toy. Look. There's the first one. There's the announcement. So come January 1st, I'm going to bring back what's called the Daily Dose Day. The Daily Dose, excuse me. So what that is, Rich Dyken, bless him, coined that phrase. What the Daily Dose is something that it's one song by Bruce. So you'll likely know Bruce allows his concerts to be recorded. There was a fairly prolific taping community who shared those recordings freely. I got my mitts on a lot of them and used to share those. There was one download a day, which I would put on the site, and so people would jump on that. So I'm going to do that again from the 1st of... I've got a really good one for the 1st of January, one that's been around for about 20 years. This particular song, I certainly wasn't aware of it. I didn't know it was in existence, so that's a good one to start you off on in a few days' time. I'm going to play it by ear, and I'm going to rely on your feedback on the best way to do this, because I think people's way of consuming this and consuming information has changed. So music, for instance, I don't know how many people would download it onto their laptop or their computer now, or how many would stream it. So I'm going to try both for now. Thank you. I'm glad you love the Daily Dose, and back it comes, and a few people had asked actually. So I'm going to maybe I'll find another channel for it as well, so that we can stream it, maybe on YouTube or somewhere. But we'll play it by ear, and we'll see just what you just what works best for you. So keep me posted. Excuse me while I strain to. Oh, here's another toy I didn't even show you. Look, check this out. Look at this. I can get it working. It's a bit late now, but you don't get that on the BBC. You do, but you don't get my smiling face. So that's announcement number 1. I said there was 3, so I will bring you the second one. Back in the day, I say back in the day, maybe up to 3 or 4 years ago, we did a podcast. There was maybe one a month came out, and to Talk of the Town, we called it. See what I did there? And so I'm going to bring that back. It was good fun. We would have Bruce on, we would have Jamie Collier on, Ross Holmes on, sometimes you guys on as well, when we had something to talk about. But even if it was just playing music to you for half an hour or an hour or so, that's what we did. Now the way I'm going to do this time, I'll still put it up for download, but the reason for this whole setup is I want to try something a little bit different, which may help with a few other things as well, but I'm going to stream it on a video broadcast, because that's what everybody does these days. You have to be able to see people for whatever reason, and actually I'm kind of interested to try it. If I can get to some sort of regular schedule, maybe we can do it where we can have call-ins or something, but I'm going to try and give you guys notice as to what we're going to do. And again, let me know what works best for you in terms of a day or a time where you might be able to listen live, as you've been good enough to do now. So see, we've got quite a number watching at the minute, so I appreciate that. I gave you notice for it, and I will try to do that when we have these podcasts in the future. 16 are watching at the minute, so thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate that. So that's 2 announcements so far. If I strain my eyes to number 3, let me get rid of that one. It's been professional. You don't see that on the BBC either. Let me just get rid of this graphic. Number 3 is, so to combine those two, if we're talking about the Daily Dose and we're talking about live video broadcasts, then put them both together, and we're going to put together the next Daily Dose day, tentatively, health permitting, my health permitting, May the 2nd of next year. The premise of a Daily Dose day is we would put up 1 download per hour from midnight to midnight for 24 hours. It will be me, a one-man show for a 24-hour period, giving you a download. So basically, instead of a daily dose, an hourly dose. And we've done 6 of them, and they're all free. Everything on my site is always free. But the premise was, if you like what you hear, you're invited to donate money to the ALS Association, which is what the graphics for. We've done other charities as well. We've done the Merlin Centre for Multiple Sclerosis Care. We've done mental health charities, NSPCC here in the UK for child cruelty. This year will be for the Airless Association again. A lot of you, most of you will know why. Melissa Smith, who was Bruce's assistant, had ALS, sadly passed in 2010. So we're going to do the Daily Dose Day again with Melissa's, in memory of Melissa. every time I do this, I try and figure out how I can top it. So last time I did one was 4 years ago, 2018, and what it ended up being was a 24-hour audio stream. I nearly killed myself, but it was me sat at a computer. Well, most of it was live music actually, but I would interject and inflict myself on you for in between songs or in between concerts, and probably drove you all nuts. But we would still have a song every hour for download. So this year, how can I top that? Well, what I want to do on May the 2nd, and the reason really for this setup now and for doing all of this, on May the 2nd, I would like to do a 24-hour video stream, yes, like this. And every hour, instead of one song an hour, I want to give you one concert an hour to download. I've already been picking them out. I've got some great ones. So I'm going right back to the 80s already. Thank you, I appreciate that. I've picked out some crackers already that I've never shared. So come May the 2nd, you'll be able to download, what's a typical concert? 2 hours, so you've got maybe 48 hours worth of music coming your way on May the 2nd. Alongside that, I will be here on my sofa, or unless I get some better setup, I'm working on it, to bring something special to you on May the 2nd. And again, the premise is, if you like what you hear, you're invited with no obligation to donate via PayPal or via Just Giving or First Giving to the Airless Association. When we do a daily, I guess we've got a fourth announcement really. So when we do a daily dose day, it's kind of tradition now. We've done 6 of these in the past, so I'm currently working on the 7th. I don't like calling it a tribute project. I've had this discussion before. It's a cover project I've settled on. So many of you are phenomenally talented musicians or singers and have contributed music before. And I want to put together what will essentially probably be the final one. In fact, somebody asked me 3 or 4 weeks ago, are you intending on putting another one together? And I said, actually, no, I don't think I will be putting I don't think I'll be doing another one of those. And then this past weekend, somebody sent me a track and said, hey, if you ever do another, it was somebody else, I'm not saying who, but he said, if you ever do another tribute project, would you include this track or consider it? And I listened to it, and it changed everything. It made my eyes leak. I put down what I was doing, listened to it, and thought, okay, we're doing another tribute project, another cover project. So this is my invitation for anybody, any musician who wants to contribute to that. We're going to hopefully have something together. It takes me a lot of work to put it all together, so I'm after something essentially by mid-April. We've already got people who are interested, others who have said they're willing. If you think you'd be one of them, drop something in the comments or drop me an email. There's a contact page on bruce.com, or you can always try me through through Facebook as well, and we'll look at putting something special out for May the 2nd from the one track I have so far. I cannot wait for you to hear it. So that'll all be coming together on May the 2nd. So the idea of these podcasts, I intend keeping them up, but is to kind of fine-tune and practice everything and get everything working together straight, ready for a 24-hour broadcast. So with that in mind, and with May the 2nd in mind, it's 123 days away. It's not that long. So what I'm after is your ideas, your input as to what we could do. Maybe there's an idea for a contest that you have, or something we could do on the day. We could, I thought about phone-ins as well, or contests that we could have. But let me know what appeals to you, what will be good for you to work on that day, and we'll get to as many of it as we can. What concerts would you want to hear? What from what era or what particular guests would you want to hear? That kind of thing. Who sat in with Bruce in the past? What songs or rarities would you like to hear that I can maybe get my hands on? Also, just an appeal, if anybody has any videos, obviously I've got 24 hours to fill and nobody wants to look at this for 24 hours. So I'm going to be occupying as much of that time for your own sakes with footage. So if anyone has anything from concerts, please let me know, and we'll figure out a way to get it to me, and I will include it in the day and play it for everybody. So that was it, basically. We go through our 4 announcements again. We have, that wasn't the first one, that was, so we have the Daily Dose coming back on, we have the Daily Dose coming back on January the 1st. We have the podcast also coming back sometime in January. I will let you know if it's a live one so that you can join in if you want to. We also have the Daily Dose Day, most importantly, in aid of the Airless Association. We are going to try and get as many people as we can in. Hey, Alicia. Try and get as many of you as we can in, and as much feedback and as much ideas and input as we can in for that day. I would just appreciate as much help as possible, so I know that I'm giving you what you want and we can raise as much money as we can for Airless Association. Anybody who isn't watching this live, by the way, you can see it all back, YouTube and Facebook. We'll have a replay of it and I'll put it on boost.com also. And the new cover project, once again, I'm not going to stop talking about this for the next 123 days, but if anybody has the ability and the means at their disposal to help with that, I'll take all the help I can get. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you listening. I didn't know if I was going to get anybody on board to listen, to watch our first one. But 15, 16 of you have joined us, so I appreciate that very much. And I will look forward to entertaining you in some capacity in the next few weeks and months to come. I just wanted to finish, since we've talked about the ALS Association, we've talked about thank you for that, I appreciate that. We've talked about the ALS Association, we've talked about Melissa especially. I'm just going to put a page up on boost.com in a minute. I'll link you to it from Facebook, since that's where most of you are watching. And I will put links to the projects that we've done in the past. And there's some photos that I've been given permission to share of Bruce and Melissa too. And I just wanted to end with this message that I got from Melissa just after her diagnosis. So we're going back to 2010. It's not the first time I've shared this, certainly won't be the last either. So from Melissa, she said, "Never forget to enjoy each day, even if your life isn't exactly what you want it to be. The blessings are always there, though sometimes you have to look a little harder." So that came from Melissa. We'll do this event and the next few months in her memory, and we've raised 30,000 in the past for ALS Association and different charities as well, and we're going to try and do that some more. We'll set our target low, because, like I say, I haven't done as well as I could have in keeping our little community together. Although you've done a fine job between you guys, you certainly don't need me, but I'm going to do my level best in the next few months to raise as much as we can for charity and to give you some fun along the way. So again, thank you so much for listening today and watching as well. I'm going to have to get used to that. And I appreciate it. Thanks for joining us today.